Hi Lily, nice to see you.
Hey Bunny, good to
How you
see you too.
going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for agreeing to do the virtual coffee with on Zoom. It's pretty exciting. This is our second one.
Yes, very good. Very honoured.
Before we get underway, I'd just like to do an acknowledgement of country, and I would like to acknowledge the land, the traditional custodians of the land on which we are individually meeting today, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I'm in the city of Darwin, so I'm on Wurundjeri land today. Can you tell me where you are?
Yeah, I'm down in Warrnambool actually, staying with family. So I'm on the Gunditjmara lands at the moment.
Beautiful. Be a nice spot down there.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So, can you tell me a bit about your role at Headspace Hawthorn?
Yeah, definitely. So my role at Headspace, I'm the community engagement worker. So I work within the team at Headspace, and then I also work as part of our lead agency with Access Health and Community as part of the health promotion team. So I sort of wear two hats, but yeah, mainly with Headspace, working in community development and health promotion there.
Great. And so who do you work with? Who is your main, who are the main people that you work with?
Yeah, yep. So I work with young people aged 12 to 25. That's sort of the Headspace group of young people that we work with. So I work with them, and I run a youth group called the Youth Advisory Group, which is a bunch of young people aged 16 to 25, and they volunteer with us at the centre. So they're involved in lots of community engagement sort of activities and events. So I manage that group. Yeah.
Great. And what excites and motivates you about your role?
Yeah, lots of things really. I guess just the opportunity to be creative. I think that always makes me really excited about things, and I get to sort of use a different side of my brain and maybe get to create something like an online sort of poster, or I don't know, just get to kind of express myself that way. It's always really fun, and trying new things that I haven't had a go at yet. Is really good. And I guess just working with different organisations who help me learn about things that I don't know enough about, and then we can sort of connect and bring something together that's really, really different. Yeah, I've been really lucky to have the opportunity to work with heaps of different organisations and businesses over the 3 years I've been at Headspace now, so that's been good. And I think what's exciting is sort of getting to be really hands-on with your work and actually seeing the difference being made in real time, and sort of seeing that light bulb moment for young people when you're maybe giving a presentation or talking to them about something. You can almost sort of see it in their eyes when they go, oh, it's I really like that. That makes me motivated.
Yeah, that's great. It's very rewarding, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Seeing the difference you're making, as you say, in real time.
Yeah, exactly.
You've just touched on it, but I know a lot of your work involves going out to schools and going out to meeting with community groups and lots of different people. And obviously, you haven't been able to do that during COVID and these isolation times as much, or if at all. How have you adapted to this new way of working?
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely been interesting. I've been able to be able to do most of my things online, and sort of chip away at things that I haven't ever really had time to do, which has been really good and very satisfying. But in terms of schools, has probably been the biggest adaptation. Um, a lot of schools have been really proactive and have come to me sort of saying, yeah, we're ready just to do it all, but online. So they've given me the opportunity to run things online through WebEx and things like that. It's very different because it's definitely more of a presentation rather than like a workshop or an interactive sort of session with the students, and I really miss that. Like it's very much just me talking for say half an hour or something, and then occasionally you'll get a question in the chat box and it's still just you talking, reading the questions, so it feels a little bit strange. But yeah, I've been really impressed with how the schools have just sort of said, yep, that's fine, we'll just adapt and we'll just do it, But yeah, definitely a number of schools have sort of dropped off a little bit. I think they've just got different priorities, and especially now getting back to school, trying to adjust again. But I guess, yeah, I've just sort of been a little bit more responsive in my work in terms of getting resources together, getting fact sheets, tip sheets, things like that for schools that are requesting them, which has been really good. Yeah, that's been the main thing. And I guess it's handy because you don't have to have the travel time. I think I've noticed that that's really, really helpful. Say going to a meeting and then you can sort of book things back to back and you can just literally jump into a different screen and you don't have to sit in Melbourne peak hour traffic for up to half an hour. So that's been really good.
Yeah, that's a massive perk, the no traveling, because I know you do zip out a lot. So
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And that's been good for young people too, especially who live far away. See, like our headspace sort of catchment, I guess, goes all the way out through to Manningham and places like Templestowe, things like that. And traditionally, those students really struggle to access our service because, you know, it'd be hard for their parents to bring them in after school, but now they can. We've seen an increase in referrals from our schools and things like that are further out because they can just go online and access us really easily. So that's been amazing to see.
Mm. Yeah, that is amazing, and maybe something that might not have happened or happened so soon if this, yeah. So it's great you've been able to take some positives from everything that's been going on. How can Inner East PCP partners get involved in your work?
Yeah, I guess there's always ways, you know, like in terms of getting us involved with what they're doing, or you know, if there's like an event we can partner or sort of be a little side wing of. We really love the opportunity to do that, especially my youth group, the YAG. Really like being involved with different organisations and branching out a little bit. So that could look like, well, I guess it's a bit hard at the moment because we're not doing as many things in real life, but you know, kind of assisting with events or coming to events and sort of having a stall somewhere at something you're running, or but I think as even just as basic as like sharing what we're doing on social media. We sort of put a lot of stuff out on our Facebook channel and things like that, and I often worry that it doesn't go as far as it could, but it really helps when partners share things, and then we do that in return as well, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed you're very active on social media. So you've got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Is that right?
Yes. We've got TikTok.
Mm.
I haven't got on that in a while because there's a bit of a vacuum for time, and you get they take a long time to make. And I thought, is this a very good use of my time? Perhaps not. So I haven't done one in a while, but I've got the YAG have made some rippers, so you should definitely check that out.
Yeah, I will. Do you have any new reflections on the nature of isolation for communities that you work with, given that we've all experienced some form of isolation over the last couple of months?
Yeah, absolutely. The feedback I've sort of been getting from young people is around it's really, really mixed. So some young people are finding it very pleasant, actually, not having to go out, and it's potentially sort of quite a protective factor. They don't have to go out and socialise when maybe that's something that causes a lot of anxiety for them. And then other young people, no surprise, really struggle with that isolation and have struggled not having their day-to-day things. And I think something I've realised is the normal things that we recommend young people do, like the 7 tips for a healthy headspace, you know, meeting up with friends, doing this or this, aren't things that young people were really able to do in that quite full-on isolation time. So that was really hard. We had to really adapt our messaging and adapt our suggestions and tips and things like that. But yeah, I think the young people who already have a bit of a self-care practice in place benefited from that, and sort of they were able to fall back on that, I think, quite well. Another thing was a lot of young people said their main concern was staying motivated. So with online school or with uni online, really struggling to stay motivated and just sort of procrastinating and things like that. So I think they'll all be very glad to be slowly returning to normal. Yeah, just very mixed, I think, for young people. I work a lot with the LGBTQIA plus community, and I read a lot about how it can be particularly difficult for, say, gender neutral or gender diverse young people when perhaps they've got one identity out in the community with their friends and their social groups and a different one at home, and they sort of haven't made that connection yet. So it can be really hard for when they're, say, at home in a Zoom call with their friends who they normally present a different way, but now they're at home and mum and dad are there or something, and they're feeling like they need to hide who they are, and it brings up a whole lot of really, really difficult stuff. So yeah, I really feel for those young people, and it has not been easy for them. So
Yeah, wow, that's something I guess I hadn't really considered, but a massive impact, as you've said, would bring up so many things. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thinking about, I guess, your experience, or just talking about isolation, have you found any strategies that have helped you in the transition to working from home or while you're working from home?
Yeah, well, I was quite lucky really because I've sort of the whole time have done a bit of half-half. So I've been in the office maybe 1 or 2 days a week, which has been very, very good. I feel like I've gotten the best of both worlds in a way. Um, I guess something I've really noticed is my house has a lot of natural light. I'm not in my own home right now, but my normal home in Melbourne does. And I've just noticed that makes such a difference to my mood and my motivation and concentration and things like that. So I think I'll really miss having access to lots of natural light, and I can look out and look at the garden, there's birds in the trees and things like that. So that's been really good. I guess like other strategies, just getting up and moving. I've tried to just have my yoga mat permanently set up next to me, so when I feel my concentration sort of lacking, I just sort of get up and do a few downward dogs or do just something just to get the blood moving again, a couple of star jumps, or I've got like a skipping rope. So instead of having like another cup of coffee or something, just try and get my heart going, which has been really good. And then another thing I've tried to do is just go for a walk like as soon as my day's over, and pack everything up and put it back in its bag, not just sort of push it to the side, and then go for a walk to sort of simulate the end of the day. And when I come back to the house, it's my house and not the office. So yeah, that's been helpful, I've found.
You sound like you've got some really good tips. I'm definitely going to grab the mat and put it next to the table. They're
Yeah,
really good. Yeah, I think there's something so satisfying and important about signifying the end of the work day. Yeah, going for a walk is at the end of the day is a good idea.
yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
right about the natural light.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. I think we forget that, when we're used to being in an office, and my desk at the office is sort of in a corner, and I'm not looking out at any natural light or any things like that. But yeah, I think I'll miss that. But yeah, it'll be good to get back eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But I guess I'll get probably staggered for a while, so you might get to enjoy some of that light for a bit longer.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you looking forward to doing once this period of isolation is over?
I guess in my personal life, I'm looking forward to getting back to the dance studio. I do a lot of dancing, so I think I've really realised that I love it because it's surrounded by the people, and we all kind of, bounce off each other's energy and things like that. So it's been really hard from home, and just going to the gym and being able to kind of move my body and be really physical in the way that I like to, instead of just going for walks and things like that. I'll be really looking forward to that. In terms of work, I think it'd just be so great to get back into schools. I think that might be a little way off, excuse me, a little way off yet, but yeah, just getting back into the community, running events, setting up all the headspace gear, giving my youth group opportunities to get out and do things. Like they're sort of a little bit stagnant at the moment. They're sort of working on things in the background, but it would be great to actually get them to get out there and start talking to people again, and start connecting with other young people like themselves that have been isolated, and getting to run some activities for them that can hopefully bring people together again.
Great. Hopefully you get back to the dance studio and the gym soon.
Yes, can't wait.
And what is something you are secretly enjoying about this time of isolation? Or maybe not so secretly.
Yeah. I guess like not having the pressure to go out and be social has been really nice. I'm a little bit of an introvert, and I like staying in a lot of the times, and it's nice not to sort of have FOMO, fear of missing out if people are out and about doing things and you're stuck at home. It's like, no, everyone's stuck at home. So it's kind of nice. But yeah, definitely will be grateful to get back out and, go out for brunch and things like that with friends. But yeah, I've been really liking the quiet time, and also it's made me be more creative. Like I've gotten back into drawing, which I don't know why I ever really stopped doing. And so that's been great. So I really hope to keep some of that stuff as well.
Great. It sounds like you've had a very positive time, and you're I would say almost thriving. That sounds,
Yeah, I
pretty
could say that. I've had my moments, that's for sure. But yeah, overall, tried to stay really positive. And also, I think you've got to practice what you preach in a way. I think when you're at work all day talking to young people about what they can do to cope in isolation, things like that, and you go home and you think, hey, I could actually do that and maybe I should take my own advice. Yeah, it does actually work, can confirm.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that's very important. A lot of the time we dish out this, especially in the work that we do, we dish out this information and advice and we don't often, or we don't always take it on ourselves. So that's great.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Lee. It was lovely to talk to you.
Yes, thanks, Bonnie. Great to talk to you as well.
Hopefully I'll see you in person soon.
Yes, looking forward to it.